It is a pleasure to introduce Elder Paul H. Dunn, noted author, educator, friend, one who is well known to the BYU student body as evidenced by your attendance here today. Elder Dunn has served as a member of the First Quorum of the 70 since 1964. A native of Provo, Elder Dunn graduated from Chapman College in 1953 with an A.B. in religion. The following year, he received a master's degree in educational administration at the University of Southern California. In 1959, he earned a doctoral degree in that same discipline there. A popular speaker among church members of all ages, Elder Dunn is the author of some 16 books. He served as a seminary teacher and as coordinator of LDS Institutes of Religion in Southern California for several years prior to his call as a general authority. Elder Dunn was an outstanding athlete in school, participating in baseball, football, basketball, golf, and track. He also played professional baseball for 4 years with the St. Louis Cardinals.
When I was a younger teenager wanting to pursue the athletic field, I was moving along with relative ease and with some accomplishment. The time came when I signed a professional contract. Unfortunately, the world conditions were much more serious than they are now. The whole world was engaged in a conflict, and then the enemy struck us. It became necessary that year to lower the draft to 18, and I turned 18 the very month they lowered it. Now, how's that for timing? On my 18th birthday, I signed a professional baseball contract. Was sent up here into the Pioneer League. I won my first ball game 7-1, and that was a proud moment. Walked off the field, and the coach on the opposing team said, in kind of a sneery voice, "Hey kid, whoever said you could pitch?" And I looked right at him and I said, "Gehrig." The next morning, the Yankees were due at 9, and I was there at 6. We went through the same ritual. This time, I was asked to shag balls behind the batting practice pitcher so he wouldn't have to bend over so far in throwing baseballs into practice. Red Ruffing, another Hall of Famer, was on the mound. And he had a vocabulary that was kind of interesting for a 12-year-old. And about the 5th batter into the batting cage that morning was Gehrig. And my heart beat a little faster as he stepped in. And as he walked up after knocking the dirt out of his cleats, he stood there and he adjusted his cap. And he looks out to his friend, Ruffing, and he says, "Hey, Red, let that kid behind you pitch to me." And I went, And Red didn't want to. He said, "Oh, I want to get through, Lou, and take a shower." And Gehrig just stood there. He said, "I said let the boy pitch." Ruffing turned and said, "Here, kid. You ladies may not know it, but a baseball only weighs about 5.5 ounces. But it felt like a 16-pound shot put." I walked up on the mound. I'm 60 feet 6 inches from my idol. I don't know who yours is in life, but think of him or her and be in that close proximity. He could see I was concerned. I was feeling very inferior. He took that magnificent bat and he just held it there, and then he pushed it out like this. He said, "Just aim at the bat, son." And I threw the ball somewhere in the park. First boat team starts in. They've got about 2,000 yards. This is when the tide is at its height, so you can get as far ashore as you possibly can. Well, the first boat team went. About 1,200 yards before they hit the shore, the whole beach opened up. We don't know how anybody could stay alive. And one craft after the other was hit, and it was scattering American soldiers in the water. Second flare goes off. Next boat goes in. Same thing. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Nobody's getting ashore. Makes you ponder and wonder. Now it comes time for the 7th wave, and that's mine. Flare goes off, and in goes the boat team. And it's just kind of eerie sitting there watching that boat go up and down. You can see the palm trees getting a little bigger. Your heart's pounding. Then all of a sudden the whole shoreline opens up, zeroing in on you. Now it's H hour +1. The tide's starting to come out. It exposes a large coral reef, and our LCVP can't get over it. It sticks on the coral reef. And the Navy gets excited. They drop the front and say, "Get out of here, you're drawing fire." We jump in the water's chest high. You gotta hold your rifle over your head. The muzzle drops in the water, that's salt water. It'll blow up on you when you fire. Did you ever try to run in water up to your chest, loaded down? You don't move very fast. And the enemy starts to pick you up. And you're pushing with the butt of your rifle the dead bodies and wounded bodies of your friends and associates you've been training with. The coral is so sharp, it cuts the boots off your feet, and your feet are starting to bleed like mincemeat, and you're trying to get ashore. And I was one of the first ashore that morning, and I dug my first foxhole with my fingernails, and I crawled in it. And just as I crawled into that mucky hole, an ambu gun opened up. It shoots about 700 rounds a minute, and it went down my right arm and took off my identification bracelet. And I rolled over and started to talk to Heavenly Father. And He answered me.